Like, come on, bro. What type of lying is what type of nonsense is this? Doesn't make no sense. Like what? Oh shit. Hey, what's good, YouTube? Oh my goodness. I was like looking at the damn mic and screen. I'm like looking around like what? And then I'm like, oh wait, this did not even out. Hold up. What's good, Sneaky Gang? What's good, potentials? How y'all doing? Hope y'all been sneaking and creeping, staying healthy and wealthy, have emotional flowing like the ocean. Hey, if you don't know by now, you need to know. Hit the clip.
Head so good, she honorable. She riding it like carnival. I done did the impossible.
She brought it like she's flags. We turn up to the max. I whop her.
80. We back with another what? Another reaction video. Hey, we gonna be reacting to Kyren Lacy's lawyer just exposed the police. Ooh. I'm telling you, this is why I don't with the police, bro. They crooked. They liars, man. They just do some crazy stuff just to get by. That's the reason why. This is the reason why.
Kyren Lacy was supposed to be the next big wide receiver.
Hold up, wait a minute. Stay tuned for what I finished at the end, and let's get into this.
Kyren Lacy was supposed to be the next big wide receiver out of LSU, a 6'2" deep threat with speed, coming off his best season yet. Scouts had him pegged as a mid-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. On December 17, 2024, police say Lacy caused a devastating car crash in Louisiana that killed a 78-year-old man. Investigators say he was driving recklessly, speeding and making an illegal pass in a no-passing zone. Worst of all, they claim he fled the scene without stopping or calling for help. The fallout was immediate. Prosecutors issued an arrest warrant, charging him with negligent homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless operation of a vehicle. Lacy turned himself in, posted a $151,000 bond, and waited for his day in court. But while he was free, his football career collapsed. NFL teams backed away. Scouts stopped calling. Instead of training for the combine, he was preparing for trial. On April 12, 2025, just 2 days before a grand jury was set to hear his case, police say Lacy got into an argument with a family member in Houston, Texas. He fired a gun to the ground and fled in his car. Officers chased him, and when the pursuit ended, they found him dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. In the wake of his death, his legal team pushed back. His attorney, Matt Ori, released a huge statement, called the entire investigation a witch hunt, saying it was overzealous and targeted, driven by public perception, not facts. And the evidence would have led to a declination of charges by the grand jury. His lawyer spoke out more today and released the footage of the crash. And Kyren is really far from this crash, bro. I'm gonna watch this full video of his lawyer speaking. Stick around for the full video, let's go.
And good to see you, man. Thank you for coming.
Good to see you, Martin. Thank you for having me.
Did you compile anything new?
I've got everything. I've got every piece of evidence I have viewed. I've examined every piece of evidence, which includes all surveillance, all body cam footage, and most importantly, the investigative report that was generated and manufactured by the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office, according to the data that they obtained. Got the entirety of the District Attorney's findings, their findings after their own investigation. That's what we're here today to present. We're going to compare and contrast those findings with the findings of state police, because there's a ton of confusion. People seem to believe that somehow he hit someone in this accident, or possibly even shot through two cars and there was this explosion behind him. I've heard every version possible.
This is true. The public perception right now of Kyren Lacy for some people is that he straight up caused this huge accident and just left him in the dust.
Yeah, so what you'll see is in the top left of the screen, you're going to see multiple cars just making their way south to Thibodeau, coming from Vacherie. At some point in time, you're going to see the collision, which we're going to know is vehicle number 2 from oncoming traffic colliding with the vehicle of Mr. Hall. You will see another vehicle come to a stop, and then you'll see Kyren Lacy come to a stop.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I said, isn't he in a green car? Isn't he in the green car? So how did he cause the accident? Because if he was in the green car and he crashed, of course he's not going to flee the scene. It's his car. What the hell?
The video. It looks like the impact happens, and then Kyren Lacy is behind him. How far away was he from there?
Pretty far, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the beauty of the investigative report that I now have my hands on. We know from data that Kyren Lacy did in fact pass 4 cars. There's no disputing that. Further north, Kyren Lacy passed 4 cars.
Further north, so behind Kyren, he passed cars behind him that were on the video that we just saw. Obviously not the cars in front of him. He didn't attempt to pass them yet.
He was back in his lane of travel, 92.3 yards, back in his lane, behind Mr. Hall.
Did you hear that? Back in his lane, 92 yards behind Mr. Hall.
Damn.
92 yards.
That means he was
far
far
as shit. That's a football field. I know it's kind of crazy to say this, but think about how long a football field is.
At the time of impact, he's 72 0.6 yards behind the vehicles at the time of impact. Keyword, behind the vehicles. That is not how this story was ever painted. Never.
Facts.
This is the investigation of the Lafourche Parish District.
So they framed him. He lost everything after they framed him. And then on top of that, too, he gets in an argument with his family members, and who knows if he committed suicide because he lost everything. Bro, oh my goodness, man.
Attorney's Office. So I'm here simply comparing and contrasting the District Attorney's Office with state police in this matter, their investigations. And in that investigation, it shows that he was back in his correct lane of travel, 92.3 yards. Before this incident occurred, he was back in his lane.
I mean, I really don't understand how he was charged in this. 92
Facts.
yards
That's
is
what I'm
far as
saying.
shit,
I'm like-
even in a car, in my opinion. And they're all traveling like, it looks like 30 to 40 miles per hour.
Law state about where you should be behind, or and I want to say I thought it was 100 feet. Is that correct?
It is correct. Take out the fact here that it's a no passing zone. If it weren't at this time, it's 100 feet. What we know now is he was 3 times legally what he needed to be back in his lane of traffic.
Obviously, he shouldn't have been passing in a no passing zone. And that's what the lawyer pointed out there, but this is insane to me.
So wait, I'm very confused. If there's an accident, you can't get around that and let those people deal with that? Why is it your business what happened with them? Whoever caused that accident, that's on them. That is not supposed to be on him. What? I'm confused. How is it on him? He didn't do nothing. They did.
What you see here is vehicle 3.
Okay.
That is Mr. Hall's vehicle. This is another vehicle between Mr. Lacy and Mr. Hall. This is the gold truck that's referenced in the report. This is heading north. So this is the lead vehicle heading north.
Hold on, because I know I'm going to be in the way, so let me go and make a switch. I just want to make sure y'all can see better, you know?
And the vehicle that actually collided with Mr. Hall's vehicle, that would be vehicle 2.
So gold truck's in front of vehicle 2 on this side.
Vehicle 2 was tailgating, all right? According to the data, again, of the District Attorney's Office, not me, according to their data. Tailgating at 49.6 miles an hour, 0.5 seconds behind the gold truck, 1.5 seconds before the crash. So again, if that did make sense, she is following 0.5 seconds behind this vehicle, 0.5 seconds behind that vehicle, 1.5 seconds before the crash. At over 49 miles an hour. 0.5. When this woman was in the ambulance, they issued her a ticket. All right? You know for what? Take a wild guess. Following too close. Another trooper comes and is looking for that particular ticket. And that ticket, something may happen to the ticket, don't worry about it. Sure enough, something happened to that ticket down the road, right? The ticket now needs to fit a better narrative. And that ticket now says, crossing left of center. Why? Why? The black box is telling me. The data from the District Attorney's Office tells me you're traveling 0.5 seconds at 49.6 miles an hour, 1.5 seconds before the accident.
That's very sus. Changing it to a different ticket. When does that ever happen? That's
Facts.
very suspect, right?
That data in that vehicle shows me 5 seconds previous to this crash. 5. I'm looking at it, and you're going to show it. 5 seconds previous to this crash, she maintained a speed of 49.6 miles an hour, never activating the EBS system until 0.5 seconds before the crash. Why is that important? Because if your story, which we'll get into, keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you had all this time to see the gold truck, in her words, stomp on their brakes, slam on their brakes, come to a stop, veer off the road. I see another vehicle approaching. I see the Charger approaching. Well, my question to you now becomes, how did you see that vehicle approaching, or him stop, or him slam on his brakes, yet your data says you never touched your brake prior to 0.5 seconds before that crash? I'm looking right now. So are you at the last 5 seconds.
And how the hell would you see another car coming when you already crashed into one car? You're not going to see no other car coming because the collision is between you and that car. You're going to be looking at you and that car. You can't see no other cars coming behind you or coming behind that other car. Man, the lying, bro. I'm telling you, the lying.
It's according to her. Her car's black box. Not mine. Not my expert. That's her car. So if you're going to tell me a 5 to 10 second elaborate story, it needs to make sense.
Interesting. So he's saying if you saw Kyren's car and this is why you caused the accident is because of Kyren passing a lane in front of you, coming at you, why did you react so late? Because wasn't he already back in the lane at this time?
It was not about Kyren. The people just don't know how to drive, man. Like, what?
Time too.
And when you have the data, not only doesn't it add up, it's not possible. Notice on there, Martin, it says 75 degrees, right? You turn 75 degrees to the left all of a sudden.
That's a pretty hard turn to the left.
It's a very hard turn to the left. The gold truck, the lead vehicle in oncoming traffic, who, by the way, is probably one of the two most important witnesses in this entire case.
100%. He's the vehicle in the front.
Facts.
Oncoming traffic from Kyren.
We know now that 2.99 seconds prior to him pulling off the road, he was traveling 28 miles an hour.
That's very slow.
But let's be very clear right now for the intent and purposes of what we're doing. There are two vehicles that we're talking about right now that are traveling north. The second vehicle in oncoming traffic, which is vehicle 2, their data says she is tailgating. She is 0.5 seconds at 49.6 miles an hour, 1.5 seconds before the crash. And you saw her data, 50.3 to 49.6.
Yeah, so she stayed at 49.6 until 0.5 seconds, and then
There's a variation of less than a mile per hour. He says upon reviewing the body cam video of the trooper from the scene, the following statement was made by, we'll call her vehicle 2, right? I just know the truck was stomping on brakes. The other was trying to pass the other car. I was trying to dodge by not hitting him, by coming around. When the trooper asked how fast she was going, she replied the speed limit. He next says, I reviewed the recorded interview and the written statement from vehicle 2 while she was in the hospital on January 3rd, 2025. Below is a synopsis of that interview. In the very first, it says, all I can see is that a car is coming this way and the car in front of me, right before the crash. I'm looking at the pickup truck in front of me. That's all they see for the moment. I'm eating my Funyuns. I got in the middle of my lap and I'm driving. I'm listening to my music. All of a sudden, I see the car get in the other person's lane. The truck, in quote, steps on his brakes. First, so it slows down. But then he does it again, and this time it's really hard. That's when you can see on the other side the car is trying to get back over. But before he can get over, the truck stops in the middle, like on the brakes hard. There's another car that runs damn near into the pole. It's either I run into him or I try to get out the way, so I'm trying to get to the dollar store parking lot. Then the other car just comes and slams into me. The trooper asks vehicle 2, whenever you're looking forward, or the car's in front of you, they swerve off to the right before you make your left, or are you looking at a green Charger coming at you? Or, in end of quotes, vehicle 2 responded with, the green Charger came, and then the car behind me, behind them, the truck, the van, whatever. The trooper does not ask any further follow-up questions to get a better understanding of what she was saying for this answer. Now remember.
What? I'm so confused. This is why I say police don't have common sense, bro. What do you, bro? You're not supposed to be looking at another car while you're driving. What are you talking about? You're supposed to look at the car that's in front of you. What? Talking about, I was looking at the green car, then this and that. Like, bro, your story doesn't make sense. And then the cop, knowing that it doesn't make sense, instead of him to say, oh, your story is not making sense. What do you mean you was looking at the green car? Why are you not looking at the car that's in front of you? Another ticket. Not just only being close to somebody, but not paying attention while driving. Swear. Because why are you looking at a green... Bro, I could be looking at a Lamborghini, or I could be looking at a C8, or I could be looking at a Ferrari 428, or I could be looking at a Porsche 911. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm supposed to be focused on the road of who's in front of me, who's on the side of me, who's on the other side. I don't care if there's another car coming down this way. I give one 2-second glance and I focus on right here, what's going on. Or I slow down, see what's in front of me, and then give 1-2-second glance at that car. This doesn't make sense. Hold up, let me get some water. Oh, I was paying attention to the green car. The green car didn't cause the accident. You did. Dummy.
I'm reading what the investigator's saying. When vehicle 2 states the truck stops in the middle of the road like on the brakes hard, this statement indicates that truck stopped in the middle of the lane and not, in quotes, swerving off to the right. This would also show that vehicle 2 would have steered to the left to avoid contact with the gold truck and not Kyren Lacy. During this interview with the trooper, vehicle 2 made several statements that do not match the submitted report or written statement. Instead of questioning vehicle 2 for more details, the trooper attempted to recap what she was saying, which seems to contradict her statements.
Yeah, her statements were all over the place just now. That was so confusing.
While doing this, the trooper is the first to talk about the gold truck swerving off to the right. Then when it came to obtaining the written statement, the trooper tells vehicle 2 what to document on the statement as she is writing.
The trooper tells her what to write? Is that what he just said?
do we have any
Oh,
data
that's illegal.
on the
You
gold
can't
truck?
do that.
2.99 seconds before the gold truck eases off to the road.
Yeah.
Eases off of the road.
Right,
He's traveling at 28 miles an hour.
right.
That all is in this report.
Yeah, that's my question.
You watch someone slam on their brakes. You watch them stop. You watched a car chart coming at you in your lane of traffic, but you never thought to just tap the brakes? Really?
No.
Data is accurate. The black box is accurate that says that you never touch your brakes. You never touch your brakes in the last 5 seconds until 0.5 seconds before the impact. That's their data. It's not mine.
Yeah, it really doesn't add up or make sense that she reacted so late. And she was eating Funyuns?
I'm looking at that gold truck. I want to know what they said, when they said it, what were the...
That's another ticket. Because what do they always tell you when you're driving? You can't be eating. Food. You can drink water. You can drink your drink, but you can't be eating because that's a distraction on the road. That's a distraction.
Circumstances, how did this come about? And this is where it really starts tying together. The very first one, what I noticed on the body cam was that the conversation was going on for 4 minutes and approximately 30 seconds prior to the body cam being activated. And of course, when the body cam is activated, I don't know what you said those previous 4.5 minutes.
I'm going to be honest. Why are police officers allowed to turn body cam on and off? That should be like a law that body cam has to be on if they're on the clock. Honestly.
No, what should happen is the minute that you put on, they should have a thing where it's like the minute you put on the minute that you put on the vest, it should have a body sensing thing that, oh, I'm on top of the chest, turn on. When you take off your thing, oh, the body, I'm not in no physical warm spot of the body, turn off. The fact that they could turn it on and turn it off, no, bruh. Bro, we got technology, bro. We have technology that has light sensors, camera motion sensors. Bro, you mean to tell me y'all is professional to the government. Y'all can't find no thing to like turn on the camera automatically the minute the person puts on the vest? Or if you turn off the camera while you're at work or doing an investigation, that's a suspension of 2 weeks for you working. So that way they'd be like, oh, this can hinder my pay. If I need to pay for my rent or pay for my mortgage, this could hinder my pay. I'm not going to turn off the camera. Give out some type of law for that. The fact that you could turn it off and turn it back on with no consequences, that right there is very dangerous to public society. Swear.
There's a gold truck, guy.
All right, sir.
So this is a guy that was in front of vehicle 2 that could clearly see Kyren's green Charger.
Look, don't worry about filling any of this top information, like your name, address. Don't worry about any of that. Just right here, if you could, I'll just have you write exactly what you saw. Just make sure to include, where you were.
I don't even know what the name of the highway.
It's Highway 20. Highway 20.
Bruh, this cop needs to be fired, bro. What do you mean don't worry about your address and everything like that? He's supposed to write it down. You're making him fill out something that he doesn't have to fill out. You're supposed to have your own description, your own, like, what was happening. He didn't cause the accident. The lady that crashed did. What?
That you just...
All right, me and my wife gonna figure that right.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes and the brakes, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that Charger and the brakes locked up to avoid that.
Don't tell him. You told him to write what he saw and what happened. Now you telling him what to write? What? Oh, hell no.
Why is this officer telling him what to add in there? Is that how this works? That's not how it's supposed to work, right?
Facts. That's not how it's
the whole point of
supposed
witnesses
to.
is to let them write what they saw. Now this guy could be a tainted witness, right? I mean, you just literally told him what to write.
And then in the back of me, she has always had me. That's how she called that record. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side.
So she calls that wreck. The lady that ran in the back of me. The person behind.
Bro, I just said it already. She the one that caused the wreck. Well, I gotta say something. She the one that caused it. I just gotta say something. She the one that caused it. She the one that hit me. I ain't do nothing wrong.
In him. I think that's what he's saying.
Oh, but the Charger was coming right at you, correct? And that's why you had to slam when you break the head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that, and that's very important because we're trying to locate this Charger right now. So just include that in the statement, and I'll read it over, and then I'll be out of here.
In that video, you can clearly hear the suggestive nature indicating that I need you to say that you had to slam on your brakes and you had to avoid a Charger.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes and the brakes, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that Charger and the brakes locked up to avoid that Charger. That's
crazy. He's telling him what to write in a witness statement.
But then you hear Gold Truck, the witness who's the Gold Truck, what he says. And he says verbatim.
I ain't excuse my car. That's what I was even going for. That lady in the back of me, She didn't say what was happening. That's how she called that wreck. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side. And that's not in it.
I didn't skid marked or nothing because I wasn't even going that fast. That lady in the back of me, she didn't see what's happening. That's how she caused that wreck. She was going to run into the back of me, and she pulled into the other side.
Boom. It seems like the
Exactly.
lady behind this gold truck guy was eating Funyuns and probably fucking dropped them and swerved or something, dude. Honestly, that's what it seems like. Kyren was illegally passing before 100 yards away, but that doesn't mean he caused an accident 100 yards away. It's just literally like he was in the wrong place at the wrong time almost.
I then obtained the actual written statement.
And this is from the gold truck.
This is the gold truck. Now, after the statement we just went through, notice, I've obviously redacted names, addresses, and the cell phone number in fairness to the individual who is gold truck number one in oncoming traffic. See, the problem with that statement is it is in direct contravention to what was said minutes earlier.
Facts.
It's not written by him, and where it says signed, it's not signed, it's refused. But
Oh.
you see, when I have a witness who is the most critical, and he's telling you, I wasn't traveling fast. We know now that he wasn't. The data shows 2.99 seconds before that he was traveling 28 miles an hour. The data shows that. Now he corroborates that. And he goes on to say, I didn't even make a skid mark. That woman behind me, she caused that accident. And you give me this statement that is refused? I got a problem.
So I guess the gold truck guy's wife wrote it. If I were to guess, remember he said his wife was going to do it on the video, and she refused to sign it, which is a red flag. As a witness, you have the right to refuse to sign a written statement, especially at the scene of an accident. Possible reasons include disagreeing with the written account. You may
I wouldn't blame her to refuse to write it, because it's just like you telling me to write a falsy statement. It's not truthful. It's falsy. Why am I gonna write a falsy statement? It's not truthful. Why would I do that? You're putting me in jeopardy, and you're putting yourself in jeopardy. So I'm not signing this falsy statement, because if anything, if the court of law, I could get in trouble, and you could be freely running around pulling people over whenever you feel like it. But I will have to pay for a lawyer just to get myself out of the case because you made me write a falsy statement. I'm not signing this. I'll write what you want me to write and what you think I'm supposed to write, but I'm not signing this falsy statement. I don't blame her for doing that. I don't. I wouldn't sign it either.
agree with how the police officers summarize or transcribe your account of the crash. You may be worried that the statement could be used against you or another party in a way you do not intend. Or this officer wrote this shit.
I got a problem with that. A big one. What he's saying is she had to avoid hitting him. He specifically stated she caused that accident, but I've got an affidavit for arrest warrant right here. Nowhere in here does it say anything that you guys just saw on body cam. To the contrary, about that vehicle, it says the gold truck took evasive action by emergency braking and driving off the roadway to avoid a head-on crash.
What?
But you just heard he said, I wasn't even going fast. I didn't even skid mark. So what emergency braking are we referring to here?
Wasn't he going 20 miles per hour?
That's
horseshit.
slow.
What the hell was the point of this report? It is complete opposite.
So let's read this. Highway 20, green Charger coming head on, passing multiple cars coming head on. I had to slam on the brakes to avoid accident. I had to veer off road to avoid getting hit. Then I stopped to check on the cars behind me in the wreck. I was traveling north. The Charger was traveling south in wrong lane, 92 yards away.
She didn't say what was happening. That's how she called that wreck. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side. And that's not in it.
So, but the Charger was coming right at you,
Right,
correct? And that's why you had to
Head
slam
on
when you
with
break the head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that, and that's very important because we're trying to locate this Charger right now. So just include that in the statement, and I'll read it over, and then I'll be out of here. Okay.
By the way, the body cam wasn't on for this statement. It was turned off before obtaining this statement. And this is what we
Damn.
get back in the file. This is where Kyren passed, right? He comes here, he passes. He gets back in his lane.
Okay, so these are the 4 cars he passed north, and he's traveling south. He's traveling this way, obviously.
Don't you know that one of these witnesses that's in this package actually says in his statement that the Charger passed through the vehicle of Mr. Hall and the gold truck and vehicle 2, and then they collided. I can't make this up.
That witness is on fucking drugs. What are they saying? He was so far behind the accident, he did not pass through the cars to cause the accident. This is why witness testimony can be picked apart by lawyers in court, bro.
This is what people just don't get to see.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not saying this intentional. I'm saying people commit to a story and they don't back down. You saw it here, but I'm telling you, you guys saw a video. You just saw a statement where somebody tells them what to say. They tell them that's not what happened. They still give me the statement.
He's not wrong. This is ridiculous.
Facts.
I can't believe they charged him with this.
And now I got another individual who we won't harp into here because it's so uncredible, right? That one individual, one of the four individuals here, they say that they were going 30 to 35 miles an hour when Kyren passed him. He did. There's no disputing that. No one ever did. But he was back in his lane of travel. 92.3 yards back in. 72.6 at the time of impact. When they collide, he is 72.6. Before they collide, he is almost a football field away back in his lane.
I love how he's saying football field too. It's like the easiest way to really get the grasp of how far that is.
Mm-hmm.
The pass was 92 yards away. Even in a car. I know people are going to say it's in a car. The people he's passing are going 30 miles per hour.
That's not disputed. What you could see is another car come to a stop, and then Kyren Lacy come to a stop. But you know what's really interesting to me as well is that there was another passenger in Kyren Lacy's car. They knew this. They have video footage of this individual getting out of the car. Why didn't you ascertain his identity? Why would you not want to hear the person with one of the best views of this incident? Why would you make a call? Why would you simply not bring him in for questioning?
Probably because it didn't fit their narrative. Or I would imagine that guy didn't want to speak to the police. Probably Kyren's friend or family member. They're probably like, fuck this.
Or you talked to him after?
Of course, I talked to him after. It's exactly what they said.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they said.
Mm-hmm.
They actually thought at one point in time that she collided with the gold truck. That's the very first thing they told me, that they thought that this vehicle 2, was trying to get around the two. As in, slide between them, as in, uh-oh.
Dude, I think the girl behind the gold truck caused this accident. Like, straight up, that's what it seems like.
She did, bro. She did. I'm telling you, people don't know how to drive, bro. I don't care if it's a Porsche 911, Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, driving on the other side of the road and I'm going this way. I don't care, bro. I don't care. My main thing is the car that's in front of me, I have to pay attention to them. Because if not, if I crash into them, I'm going to be at fault. Not the nice car coming down the road. He's not going to be at fault. He's not going to be at fault. I'm going to be at fault for causing the accident. So, the fact that this cop was trying to do all this, he should be fired. Because now he untrustworthy. I don't care if he says, I'm not going to do it ever again. In the first place, you shouldn't have done it at all. You're just untrustworthy. That's what it is. Second of all, you got this woman not telling the truth, talking about, I was looking at the green car and I didn't crash into the car hit me. What?
Funyuns, and she swerves left out of nowhere into oncoming traffic.
The very last line of the report from the district attorney's office says, the evidence submitted in the crash report does not support that Kyren Lacy should have known that his actions were the cause of the crash that happened approximately 72 yards in front of him.
So why was he charged? What the fuck is this? That basically just says he's innocent right there.
And what we know is we never disputed ever that he passed those vehicles. They were in a row, 4 vehicles in a row. We know they were going 30 to 35 miles an hour. He passed them. It was a no passing zone, but he got back in. 92.3 yards, he was back in his lane of travel. He was 72 yards behind at the time of impact. We know that now. He was actually the second car to pull up behind, not even the first. At no point in time did he have to...
To be honest, his ticket would have just been, you made an illegal passing turn. That's about it. That's about it. But he didn't cause the accident. He didn't cause the person to die in the process of the accident. Whatever happened between that lady and the gold truck, and what happened between the two oncoming traffic, she caused the death. They want to pin it on him for what?
Slam his brakes. He wasn't even close to the second car.
Wasn't even
This
close
is
to the
bullshit.
driving.
How was he charged for this? If this actually went to
Facts.
trial, he would have been acquitted so quick.
He just eased in. He eased in. He went straight from there to the facility in Trevor for his football practice.
Now, he should have probably stopped and checked on people.
He had no idea he caused this accident because he didn't think he caused the accident. He didn't
Exactly.
cause the accident. Did he? Did he just get through and take off like they suggested? You and I read reports earlier. We're looking at old news reports where they say he actually collided with a vehicle.
It did.
They actually said he fled a scene. They actually said he came back to the scene. Do you know how
What?
preposterous that is? None of that's true. And he sure as hell never split the difference and barely got through. And then there was a
See, that right there is a red flag. Bro, when does someone cause an accident, runs away from the accident, and then come back? What? To the same accident on the same time and day? Like, what? Bro, not even robbers that robbed the store is going to come back on the same day and the same time to check on the store to see if there's more money in the store. When the police are there, like, what are you talking about, bro? Right there, that part of the story should have been, this doesn't make sense. Swear. Like, bro, what kind of common sense is this? Who wrote this report? Was it the officer? Because, bro, this guy has no common sense. What, bro? He left. He left the scene and came. What? Who, bro? Bro, I'm so speechless, bro. Cause I never heard something so stupid like this. What? Bro, you mean to tell me? If I'm gonna cash in a check in the bank and then come back to check if the check went inside the bank? Like, what? What? Come on, man.
some big explosion. That's not what happened. Kyren Lacy passed 4 vehicles. There's no question, in a row. Nobody ever disputed that. But it's now undisputed that he got back in. 92.3 yards. Now, interestingly enough, the report indicates that at 120.4 yards, he was already entering back into the lane, right?
120 yards, he was already getting back in the lane after passing and then passing. 120 yards, that's a full football field, including the end zones.
They reference that is they say in this report, the district attorney's office, their investigation yielded that at that time, Kyren and vehicle number 2, all right, 1.5 seconds before the accident, or 120.4 yards apart.
So it said 120.4 yards, not feet.
All this is yards. This is not
It's a
feet.
big difference.
The only footage we have discussed, you and I today, is what's legally required when you pass a vehicle.
100 feet.
You have to be back in your lane of traffic 100 feet. He was over 300 feet. I'll be the first to admit that particular law does not say when you're in a no passing zone. Be clear. He passed 4 vehicles in a no passing zone. Never been disputed, not once.
You definitely should not have been doing that. I may admit I've done that once or twice in my day, for sure. If there's a car going slow as shit, but I don't think 4 cars. 4 cars is kind of crazy.
But the big narrative spun was, and this is very important, that he was actively passing at the time of this accident. That is extremely important.
He wasn't. He was back in the lane, wasn't he?
We know now that is 100% false. In the conclusion of the district attorney's report,
Okay, go ahead.
they state in here that they gave the impression that Kyren Lacy was actively passing vehicles when the crash occurred, which is incorrect. He did pass 4 vehicles, but was back in the southbound lane before the crash occurred. And now we know, according to this data, that was 72.6 yards as it's stated in this report.
This is mind-blowing.
Enough started adding up to me to know that there were holes all over this thing, right? So it's the policy of the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office that all homicides go to a grand jury. We were nearing that grand jury, right? Where all of this was coming out. Everything I'm telling you now is going to be presented to a grand jury in a fair, neutral, and impartial manner. So, in my opinion, this never survives a grand jury. Never, never, ever survives a grand jury. We were 48 hours from that.
What the fuck, man? What was this argument with this family member, bro? This is so sad, bro. He should be in the NFL right now, practicing and playing a game in 2 days. That's pretty much the gist of this whole situation. I think this district attorney's office should be embarrassed for charging him, honestly. The only thing...
The cop that did the whole thing is supposed to be the one to get fired. What is this whole like story? Talking about he came back to the what? Bro, I know homies back in the day that said they used to steal in a store at Walmart. They may have came back to the same store on different dates, but on the same day in the same time period, they're not coming back to the same store. Bro, what? Like, come on, bro. What type of lying is what type of nonsense is this? Doesn't make no sense. Like, what? Oh, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Rest in peace to him, bro. The argument that he got with a family member, bro, should have never been that serious. Family shouldn't even try to split that problem going down the line like that for it to even go that serious. And then also, rest in peace to him, bro, because he should have been in the NFL. This right here just ruined his whole career, because it's just like this little nonsense didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. Hell nah, that did not make no damn sense. Potentials, if you're new, subscribe. Sneaky Gang Potentials, like the video. Yes, comment down below what you think of this incident and this report, what was going on, and what you think about Kyren Lacy. I hope I said his name right. And also, share to whoever, family, friends, brothers and sisters, cousins, nieces and nephews, uncles and aunties. Also, share to your exes in the past and exes that we hope that you don't have in the present or the near future. Remember, we pray for success, not for failure. Also, if you have done so but have not done so, don't forget to hit that bell. And this your boy Sneakywesti or Sneakywesti. I'll see y'all in the next. Also, I appreciate how y'all say it or how y'all think it's being said. Love y'all very much, Sneaky Gang Potentials. And I'll see y'all in the next reaction video. Peace. Real though, talking about bro. I cared about the whole story scene, right? I cared about that whole story scene. But the minute they started saying, oh, you know, he fled the scene and came back to the scene, I was like, yeah, these people lying. These people lying, bro. Like, there's no way somebody gonna flee the scene and come back to the scene. Like, come on, bro. Stop it. Who you know, even robbers, people that pull the most biggest heist, who you know gonna do that? Come on, bro. For real.
Don't know when my nights became so complicated. Can't recall my mornings ever been as faded. Maybe this is karma, definition of jaded.